would you please introduce yourselves for the record, please?
Ekere Arandar, Head of the Legal Department, Treasury.
Chintaka Mendis, DG SEC.
මම උපුල්මලි ප්‍රේමතිලක ආනයනපරණ පාලක ජෙනරාල්.
Tanuja Pereira, Tax Advisor, Ministry of Finance.
Tushari Vitana, Assistant Legal Draftsman, Legal Draftsman's Department.
Renuka Vijayavadana, Chief Regulatory Officer, Colombo Stock Exchange.
Tushara Jaratna, Deputy General, SEC.
Rasika Valpitakama, Senior Assistant Manager, Securities and Exchange Commissioner.
Kapila Virakon, Deputy Director, Foreign Exchange Department, Central Bank.
Sudat Prasanna, Additional Director, Foreign Exchange Department, Central Bank.
Cesar Jayasekara, Additional Director, Bank Supervision Department, Central Bank of Sri Lanka.
Jayatu Pereira, Senior Assistant Director, Bank Supervision Department, Central Bank.
Asantha Gunasekara, Director, Trade, Investment and Policy Department.
Russell Radamira, Additional Director General, Trade and Investment Policy Department.
Chaminda Patiraja, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Industries.
Samudika Jayaratna, Senior Deputy Auditor General, National Audit Office.
Disal Ratnayaka, Senior Assistant Auditor General, National Audit Office.
Mahinda Disanayaka, Mechanical Engineer, Airport and Aviation Services.
Uday Lokwarachi, Head of Information Technology, Airport and Aviation Services, Sri Lanka Limited.
Saman Vikramasekara, Senior Deputy Director, Customs.
Bandula Gajanayaka, Regu Adyaksha, Sri Lanka Regu.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Is that all?
I'm Tasha Gajanayaka, State Counsel, Attorney General's Department.
Right. Shall we finish off the ones that we can finish soon, and then we can let the officials go and we'll keep the parate for later? Is that okay? Shall we then start with the SEC matter? Mr. Seniviratna, what is this? The SEC matter that 2366/34?
rates revision එකක් තියෙන්නේ Security and Exchange Commission Act එකේ අර්ථය.
ඔව්.
ඒක මේ Security and Exchange Commission එකේ DG explain.
Please, Mr.
Honorable Chairman, in terms of Section 182(1) of the new SEC Act, number 19 of 2021, the Minister, on the recommendation of the Commission, is empowered to make regulations in respect of the matters to be dealt under the SEC Act. Accordingly, the fees that should be payable by market institutions and market intermediaries have been revised. This gazette was issued, actually Commission approved this last year, but this gazette was issued early this year. Now, market intermediaries and 3 market institutions, they pay according to this regulation which was issued in January. We have revised licensing fees payable by 3 market institutions, exchange, depository and the clearing house. With the new act, Honorable Chairman, there will be 3 market institutions. Earlier, we had only Colombo Stock Exchange. With the enactment of the new act, we are going to soon actually license the other 2 institutions as well. I mean, market depository and the clearing house. Clearing house will come into effect at the end of this year, and this regulation covers licensing fees for those 3 market institutions. At the same time, under the old act, we registered market intermediaries. We did not license, like central bank license commercial banks, like specialized banks and finance companies, we are also licensing 8 market intermediaries in terms of the new Act. This is to enable that.
Okay. The second, you said there are 2 new institutions. You said the clearing house and the depository.
Yes, depository is.
What is the depository?
Central depository.
But it is already
CDS.
Yeah,
that is there.
Yeah,
that
so
is there.
how is it new?
Right now, it's 100% owned subsidiary of the
So
Colombo
it is
Stock
going to be
Exchange.
floated as a unit by itself.
Yes.
Then the clearing house.
Clearing house will come into effect at the end of this year to provide the settlement guarantee between the buyer and the seller. That is a prerequisite for us to enter into, I mean, the derivatives and short selling and all that. On the other hand, to elevate ourselves into emerging market.
But then, if you don't have a clearing house now.
CDS does that.
So CDS, you're going to sort of create a new entity and sort of.
It will come as a CCP, central counterparty.
Okay.
So that.
But currently, the function of clearing, that is to take the risk of counterparty risk.
Yes.
Precisely. Is handled by the clearing house, which is the
CDS.
Chairman, can I clarify this? I'm from the Colombo Stock Exchange.
Yes.
CDS is the company which handles 2 functions at the moment. CDS acts as a central depository, licensed. CDS plays a clearing arrangement also, but not to the extent of guaranteeing settlement. So that will happen in the future. No, we don't guarantee settlement.
Because you can't have trading, you can't have derivatives trading without a clearing house.
Correct.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
So currently there are no derivatives trading in the
No,
CDS?
not at the moment. Not at the moment.
CSC?
No. We only have delivery versus payment.
Delivery versus payment.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now when you bring in short selling, have you brought in short selling?
Yes, we have.
Now is short selling defined as a derivative or is it?
No, Chairman. No. It's a separate mechanism.
Right. So
Trading.
that is also delivery against payment or payment against delivery.
Yeah. So it is short selling is actually we have introduced regulated short selling under certain conditions. It's not like, as we call it, naked short selling. So there are under certain conditions they can short sell.
So shall we then in that case take that gazette also right away, so that we are, then we don't have to spend additional time on that. There is a gazette.
Central bank regulation.
Central bank regulation gazette.
Yes.
That is on regulated short selling.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is 2371/33.
That's right. I think
under Foreign Exchange Act.
Yes.
It is on regulated short selling. No?
Yes.
It's an extension of this. So shall we just take that also right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think there's a representative from Central Bank, Chairman. Maybe he can start off, then I can clarify.
Yes, please.
Honorable Chairman, in fact, we had also issued a Gazette notification in form of regulation number 2. That's on the classes of capital transaction undertaken in Sri Lanka by a person resident outside Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
In fact, Gazette regulation number 2, that had already been issued. But we have to bring an amendment to this Gazette notification, this regulation, in order, this is an amendment to this regulation number 2, in order to facilitate the implementation of this regulated short selling on the Colombo Exchange through securities borrowing and lending.
For foreigners?
Yes, because when it comes to transaction between resident and non-residents, so we will interpret it as a international capital transaction. So therefore, we'll have to accept it as a form of a capital class in terms of this amending this particular regulation that we have exactly done by amending this regulation.
Okay, so stop there. No, residents and non-residents. No, here what we spoke about earlier, if I'm understanding you correctly, is that we have the legislation in place for short selling, regulated short selling for resident persons.
Actually, those rules are applicable for every investor, Honorable Chairman.
Not resident or non-resident?
Non-residents, because vis-a-vis the Colombo Stock Exchange, actually these rules are in the clearinghouse rules.
Okay.
The problem is, under the prevailing laws, non-residents were not able to do it because there are certain payments which are going, for example, to the lender, borrower has to make certain payments. Those were not facilitated under the previous regulations. So because of that, central bank had to issue these amendments.
If I rephrase it, even though the legislation was there, practically it was not possible to, practically non-residents were not able to transact in short selling.
Practically and legally also.
Because of the restrictions.
Restrictions. Now, for example, if a lender.
So you said the legislation is already there.
That's for the non-resident investments.
Correct. So if I ask the first question once again, the legislative environment was okay for residents to participate in this, but for a non-resident with a resident, there was a problem. Now you want to remove that problem for non-residents to participate in regulated short selling with a resident.
Yeah.
And it also allows for non-resident and non-resident regulated
Correct.
short
Any
selling.
combination, yes.
Right, okay. Yes, please.
Sri Lankans and non-Sri Lankans, right side of the graph. Now there are 4 categories of people. So this covers all 4 categories of people, or it's only particularly covering non-Sri Lankans, or Sri Lankan, which is on the issue of the nationality and passport holder, or is it on the basis of the definition of residence, like if they have a presence and a business here, they may have other business and presence elsewhere also. What is the clarification?
In fact, for the purpose of the Foreign Exchange Act, we have issued the order in terms of the Section 31 of the Foreign Exchange Act, define the person resident in Sri Lanka. So whoever who would not fall into the person resident in Sri Lanka will be treated as a person resident outside Sri Lanka. So that gazette notification is there.
Irrespective of their nationality.
Yes, we are going by the definition on the resident in Sri Lanka and resident outside Sri Lanka.
See, Honorable Member, this is for taxing purposes. No, it's 182 days here, you are a resident. If you don't spend 182 days, you are non-resident. It doesn't matter what your nationality physically, I mean, what passport you carry. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay.
So that is the way this is defined. So in this, so you are removing the quote-unquote blocks for this, right? That's all that's happening.
Yes.
Now,
Chairman,
how much? Yes, please.
Sorry, just to clarify so that I'm with you when you give further info. Licensee fees and 8 new licenses have been issued considered to be issued, right? Am I right? Did I hear that?
Honorable Member.
8. We are talking about the second one then.
That is the first one. So shall we finish this and go back here? So in this case, how much of foreign participation are you seeing in the CSC right now? Are you seeing an increase? Are you seeing a decrease? What's happening? What is happening in the market?
We have up to now 7 billion net foreign inflow in the market for this year. And then also, if you take the contribution, last 3-4 years we had 10% foreign and 90% domestic investors. But this year it had gone up to 30 to 70. So foreign contribution has increased.
Now I heard on the news this morning that foreign holdings of securities had fallen. I guess this month or the cumulative ownership of Sri Lankan government securities held by foreigners had fallen. Even though you say you have net inflow of 7 billion Sri Lanka rupees, how does that compare with sort of what is your reference point?
Government securities.
We don't handle that.
We don't handle that.
Government securities is fixed
only
income.
the stock market, if you take, there's an inflow of 7 billion. It's only this year up to now.
That's our indicator for this year.
Yeah.
7 billion you are saying compared to what?
No, for this entire year.
Net
figure.
Yeah, no, I know that you don't handle the debt, but I was just asking, that means foreigners are moving away from debt, and are they moving into equities?
Probably.
Why is it because of interest rates?
Generally, Chairman, when the interest rates go down, stock market gets activated.
So that's why I'm asking.
That's
So,
one of the
so
reasons.
is there a relationship here, strong relationship that you see foreigners moving out of GOSL paper and moving into corporate equities?
Probably, yeah.
That could be one reason.
One reason.
Yeah.
So they're just shifting their investment portfolio from debt to equities. What is sort of the P ratios right now in the market? How does it compare with our competitors, etc.?
It's 10.5 times as at yesterday. So still lower than some of the countries. They have like 12, 13 level. Are we
close to sort of generally acceptable P ratios? Or
not yet. Can go up further.
What were the P ratios like, for instance, when in the heyday of the Colombo Stock Exchange?
It's around 20 times.
Yeah.
20?
Yeah.
So now it's about 10?
Yeah.
Last year it was around
8.
Last year it was 11 actually. Now it's 10, more or less same figure. But if you take 2021, it was 13.63 times. But around 2010, 2011, that period we had around 20 times.
Yeah, but then there was, there was a lot of allegations also at that time, pumping and dumping and all that. But do you see a sustainable growth in the inflows, portfolio inflows, forex inflows into Sri Lanka? Or you think this is some sort of short-term thing? You expect it to be sustained? What are your views?
Honorable Chairman, the market is predominantly dominated by local retail investors at this point.
So it's just circulating internally?
Yes, almost 90% or more there, for that matter.
So, I mean, daily turnover is how much in the market today?
Now it's
yesterday 4 billion something.
Averaging 1.68 billion per day.
Yeah.
This year, last year it was 1.7 billion. If you take I'll give you the breakdown from the total market turnover. 17.6% accounted by foreign companies, and then 1.8% foreign individuals. So total altogether 19.37% from foreign parties.
Yeah, but this 7 billion is nothing to write home about, no? 7 billion.
No, we had
LKR, no?
Yeah, we had 51 billion in 2022.
Is it LKR or USD?
LKR.
LKR 7 billion is really insignificant, no?
Yesterday I was at Lotteries Board, the highest seller of lotteries had done 2.8 billion.
The market is sort of dead, no? Okay. All right. So that's all there is to discuss. Is there anything else?
In terms of takeaway from this committee, would you say this year, let's say first quarter of 24, compared to 23-22, what's our actual foreign investment that has come in terms of US dollars?
In rupee terms, it's 7.5 billion. That's the net inflow. But if you take foreign purchases, we have 20 billion, and foreign sales 14% from 14 billion from the primary market purchases, and then from secondary market 20 billion. So altogether 34 billion there, and then net sales we had 28 billion. So total figure inflow of 7 billion, 7.3.
Very insignificant.
Yeah, only.
And also we saw the largest entity on the CSE exiting, delisting, Expo Lanka.
Yeah.
So that was, what about the liquidity in the market now with Expo Lanka leaving the market? How has it impacted liquidity?
Chairman, the minority shareholders will get about 63 billion rupees worth of cash, because they had to make an offer at a price which is approved by the shareholders, which is all done.
So that money, $200 million or whatever it is, came into the Sri Lanka already?
It's still not finished, because we have, I think, final approval is pending. So that money has to come from the overseas investor to the country. Part of it might go back to the non-resident, we don't know, that 10%. So part of that money has to, we believe that it should come back to the market. They are not going to just bust it.
Yeah, money will come, but stocks to be sold and bought,
Liquidity, yeah.
liquidity has disappeared.
This is a footnote clarification that I would like to give. Last night I met with few of our new ambassadors who have been appointed to Far East, including to Vietnam. And when you look at Vietnam, it had been a staunch communist country and, you know, fought in the 70s the highest invader kind of thing. අපි ඉස්කෝලේ යන විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයන් කාලේ ඇමරිකන් අධිරාජ්‍යවාදය දනගස්සපු රට හැටියට අපි පිළිගත්තේ වියට්නාමය. ඒක දන ගැස්සුවා ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක ඇත්ත. මොකද ගිය අවුරුද්දේ විතර 22 billion FDI. And out of which 17 are from America. දනගස්සපු එකත් එක්ක තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ. මගේ point එක, since I'm involved in higher education ministry, do you all do any research? Is there any branch finding these new? Why are people going to Vietnam? What are the main trends? Is it just only because of the labor or any other factor? How can we help you all with that? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Those factors, අපි හොයාගත්තේ නැත්නම් මේ factors අපිත් ඉන්නවා මේ 7 billion එනවා කවුරු හරි දෙනවා ඒක හරිම දයෝපගතයිනේ. ආවොත් හොඳයි. නැත්නම් ඉතින් මොකුත් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ වගේ. මොකද අපිට ආසන්න කලාපයේ රටවල් even Tamil Nadu and Andhra are attracting. What is attracting them? Is there any research study done seriously from your side? Or you all hand it over to central bank or some other agency?
We don't quite do economic research, but maybe if I can contribute in some way, during the last 5 years, Vietnam market, they went on a complete, liberalization of their policies, the industrialization, and also they listed a lot of SOEs.
Right.
They, in fact, from what I know, they have 2 exchanges. They set up a 3rd exchange also to list the SOEs.
Okay.
And just before COVID in 2019 or 18, they attracted about $8 billion from private equity funds to the market. So now they seem to be doing it in a very strategic way. They have identified 500 SOEs. They have listed, I think, about 100. They are still talking about it. So that's one reason from a market perspective. That's what I can.
During which period they found the biggest bank robbery also? No?
Yes,
18 billion.
that's also there. Yeah.
$18 billion.
No, that's
that have been happening from
that's true. That's corrupt
Taiwan.
people, no?
Yeah.
But I think the gentleman gave a perfect answer. I mean, it is an ideological thing. Are you willing to let go of these
Yeah,
SOEs?
exactly. That's what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
That has to be recorded.
I mean, so these SOEs then will bring liquidity.
Absolutely.
And those.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. I mean, you're not talking of listing the entire shareholding of the SOE.
No.
It can be certain percentage. You look at the model that Singapore follows and others, so that's, I mean, it's a good question and a great answer.
Thank you.
Actually, if I may add one line to that, Honorable Chairman, soon Vietnam will become an emerging market. They are with us now as another frontier market in the region. I mean, in that famous book written by Mariana Mazzucato, The Entrepreneurial State, they have drawn kind of an analogy with Vietnam and South Korea. Actually, Vietnam is following the South Korean model.
Yes, that's exactly.
And they are doing well by following the footsteps of South Korea. So they have found out, they have identified number of companies that can take products to the world, like South Korea identified LG, Samsung, Hyundai, Kia, and other products. I mean, all those are listed companies in South Korean exchange. They gave all the encouragement and support to take those products to the world market. That helped South Korea to come out from that situation and become to get to where they are now. So in that sense, in that book, it clearly illustrates and explains how Vietnam is following the footsteps of the South Korea.
Okay, so the key word is liberalization.
Also, don't forget, from a political point of view, it's fighting the corruption, because South Korea, in the same book, talks about how they even imprison 2 presidents.
Yes, certainly.
I mean, there is a correlation. So in terms, I would urge, all of us are talking here, so if we need to do this. Now the new ambassador is about to take over. So we were orienting and asking how we can help each other. So the Vietnamese Honorable Prime Minister had met with the Vietnamese ambassador here also, and we had some exchange on the education front. But I would urge this committee and as a proposal, let's have a team, cross-cutting team that thinks about these things. You know how, so multiple frontiers, political, structural, institutional, legal, moral issues and all those things are, so that one agency cannot handle that. I mean, you all are looking from a point of view of technicalities, so somebody must come and help you all to say, no, let's, like you said, the literature is available now.
The point well taken. We'll take steps.
Thank you.
Can I take 1 minute, please?
Yes, please.
We are working with Minister of Education and NIE to include capital market subject from grade 6. Right now we have capital market subjects from grade 10 onwards.
නෑ ඒක දැන් අවුරුදු 20ක් යන්නේ ඒ ළමයා ඉගෙනගෙන අවුරුදු 15ක් පස්සේ එයා මේ එහෙම නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ ඒක කරන්න ඒක හොඳයි. ඊට වඩා human rights උගන්වන්න ඕනේ අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ වල.
Yeah, but at least if they know about the capital market from grade 6.
ඒක capital market දැනගෙන වඩා තියෙනවා human rights දන්නේ නැත්නම් environment එක දැනගෙන නැත්නම්. ඌ අනිකාට support කරන්න දන්නේ නැත්නම් බුද්ධ ආගමක දන්නේ නැත්නම් මුස්ලිම් එකා කියන්නේ මේ රටේ ඉපදුන එකෙක් කියලා දන්නේ නැත්නම් ඕවා උගන්වන්න වඩා තියෙනවද? No, priorities. NIE, no, I'm not blaming you, right? NIE has got priorities mixed up. මෙතන මේ ගිනි කූරක් ගහන්න බෑ එක එකක් මරා ගන්නවා. NIE ට ඕන කරලා තියෙනවා exchange control ගැන උගන්වන්න. මේ 7 වෙනි පන්තියට ගිහිල්ලා මේ homosexuals ගැන උගන්වන්න. අනේ මේ රටේ තියෙනවා තව priority අනේ අනිකාට ගරු කරන්න උගන්වන්න කියන්නේ. ගැහණියට ගරු කරන්න උගන්වන්න කියන්නේ කොහොමද?
හරි. මේ අපි එහෙමනම් මේක ඉදිරියට යමු. Right. So that's a technical matter. No, that's all. So we will approve that. We will approve that. So let's get back to where we were on. So we approved the /33.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to where we left.
The අනිත් එකනේ license එක.
License එක. එතකොට එතන. So what you're saying is earlier you had no fees or you had fees? You had fees.
When it comes to market intermediaries, we only registered.
No fees.
No fees.
So this is the first time we're introducing a fee.
This is the first time.
Right. Market institutions, you had some fees.
Yes.
And those are also.
I mean, except stockbrokers and stock dealers.
Right. Why is the duration not gazetted?
Annual.
But it is not in the gazette, is it? Is it in the gazette?
Somebody can challenge you later, no?
I see.
If it is not in the gazette, somebody can challenge you later. You say 12 months elsewhere, but not included in the gazette.
Is it? Just can you check?
Annual renewal fees.
Is it there in the gazette?
Let me check.
Also, is SCC a December company or a March company?
December.
Where is your annual report?
CSC is a December company. I don't know about SCC.
No, I asked for SCC.
SCC annual report December nang.
23 annual report.
23 copy published.
No, it's not on the website. We looked for it. We couldn't find it. No.
23, not yet.
Why?
22, it will be released next week.
What do you mean? It is what is today?
December company.
Yeah. So how long do you need to?
3 months. No, first quarter.
No. 30th May. Later.
30th May. Do you need that long?
No, we don't need that long. But it will be released. It's ready.
Yeah.
No. Why 30th May is
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah, the audit, Honorable Chairman, the government audit.
The central bank releases its annual report in 3 months, no, 4 months. I mean, companies, how long do companies have to release?
5 months. 5 months.
5 months, not 3 months.
No.
Companies also have 5 months.
5 months.
Oh.
You need 5 months.
That's the audit is.
What is the international best practice for other regulators?
No, we generally issue, Honorable Chairman, by
31st.
April, first week of
April. What I'm saying is, what is the best practice among, because we are also competing, no?
Yeah.
So when we compete and somebody looks at the SEC as a regulator and its annual report is not available, at the end of April, is a something goes through your mind, no?
I admit that. I concede that point. Honorable Chairman will take steps to release it.
My experience had been in Canada. It's all 31st. Unless a company requests you all, say we need little more time, so you give.
Yeah.
All individuals 31st had to file, no questions whatsoever. But an individual can write to Revenue Canada and say, give me time until 30th May. Yeah, so that's all. After 30th May, you don't.
No, I mean, if that is the law, I have no issue. But what I'm saying is, it's better that you even, to publish it sooner than, the last
Certainly
day.
we should.
Right. Did you see in the Gazette, is it given annually or is it a mistake?
No,
I think, Chintaka, for the market institutions, it's perpetual.
For the market institutions, it's perpetual, but there's a
Perpetual
annual
meaning
renewal.
perpetual meaning
No,
it's a one time
when
or-
it comes to market intermediaries and other things, it's annual renewal.
No. See, I mean, 250,000 this amount, is it for 365 days or is it forever or what is it for?
ඒක කියන්න ඕනනේ. ඒක පැහැදිලි නෑ එතන.
But when you take it in the context, when you read that in the context, there's a licensing fee annual, there's a processing fee, and there's a renewal fee.
It
So when
says
you
licensing fee annual.
three categories are there. So in that sense,
Does it say that in the
yes,
Gazette?
yes,
Okay. It says that this is annual fees.
yes.
Okay.
And no, prima facie, it's kind of, when you read the full text, it is understood.
Understood.
But I think it is better to avoid confusion. You better say
I
one
get it.
line, no?
Yes.
Because all these people are trying to see some loopholes and then
I know.
go around it.
I know.
I mean, so what factors did you consider?
Fees,
250,000? I mean,
That's my question. What's your rationale and your formula to
your
arrive at
cost
that?
cost of doing this is more than 200,000 rupees, no?
Honorable Chairman, we took three things into consideration.
Very good.
The
What are
market actually has grown in 4 times over the last 16 years.
Yeah.
And the enhanced market supervision, which is envisaged.
I mean,
under the new
put you at comfort, myself and Chairman. I don't know, but I believe Honorable Pitanagi also will agree.
Yeah.
We are saying you are charging very low.
Very low, no?
That is our argument.
That is my point. I mean, you charge a corporate
Thank
finance
you.
advisor.
I felt the same. I
Annual
felt the same.
license here 300,000.
ඉතින් වැඩක් නැහැ නේද?
In fact, Commission recommended higher fees,
Yeah.
but we had a discussion with the Minister of Finance, and we thought actually we must increase this gradually.
Ayo, what is that?
Gradually thing, what will happen in this country's legal things, once they have gone through, I'm dealing with so many things with 17 universities and so many intellectuals are, once you introduce, when you start to change, there will be court cases. They'll say, no, how can you go, blah, blah, blah. So introduce now, so the 8 license, maybe 6 license.
I mean,
good people will play with you. That's all.
Yes.
No, I think this is too low. I think that's my view. What can you do with 3,000 rupees?
I feel the same.
So if please check the Gazette again.
Yeah.
The word annual is only for market institutions, not for market intermediaries. Is it correct? So that means corporate finance advisors should be 300,000 measly rupees for a year.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say that. It only says that the 300,000 rupees for market institutions, stock exchange, clearinghouse, central depositor. I think if it is an error, include it. That's all what I'm saying.
Right, sure.
Is it a inadvertent
Honorable Chairman, if I may clarify that point again, when you look at it, first we talk about the processing fee.
Correct.
Then we talk about the license fee.
Yes.
Then we talk about the renewal of license.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you read it in that context.
So renewal can be 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, 50 years. It doesn't say annual.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it may be a small point.
No, you're correct.
But it's still a point.
You're correct. I mean, people can read through that rule.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you put it in a Gazette, it becomes law.
Correct.
So, I suggest that you make sure that...
Certainly, I will.
Yeah, on that condition, based,
Thank you, sir.
on that condition, we will...
Thank you.
Yeah, one moment. But before I finish, now, the corporate finance advice, there was this whole discussion about... hyping the market, right? People having WhatsApp groups saying buy this, buy that, sort of pumping the market up and so on. And I recall very well when we were trying to pass this law, the SEC Act, there was a discussion and there was some amendments that were brought in, I think at committee stage, to sort of dilute that.
I know.
All right, we were opposed to that dilution, but the dilution happened.
Yes.
Now, I want to know whether there has been any, or rather there have been any instances in the recent past, or say the last 24 months, of people using WhatsApp groups to pump shares. And if so, what you have done to stop that kind of practice?
There are several WhatsApp groups and then Telegram groups and also Facebook accounts. And then now what we do is we monitor some of those things. We cannot monitor personal WhatsApp groups. We cannot monitor. For example, if I send a WhatsApp message to him, we cannot monitor those things. But what we have done is we have introduced.
No, I'm talking about these big groups, 250
yes,
people.
We
groups.
have last 12 months we have warned 6 individuals, and then we have cautioned 10 individuals. And also there are more than 40 phone calls warnings to people, and then it has reduced a lot actually now. But then probably just after COVID, there were so many WhatsApp groups and then even Telegram groups, FB accounts. Some of those FB accounts, they are using stock exchange logo and the name also.
My God,
so we
that
have
is very bad. No?
Yeah, we have warned. Actually, we can give because we got a letter from the committee.
Yeah, we did.
So we will table the entire.
Table it. Yeah, we want to see.
We have the information.
Yeah, because see, WhatsApp is being misused, and these social media groups, because poor people don't know.
Yeah.
People are being taken for a ride, and they are just pumping and then dumping the share on unsuspecting.
These are organized people. These are not just individuals. Very clearly organized.
There are
is
some.
doing
Yeah.
this, yeah.
We have taken action against most of this.
Right. Okay, but you are following this, right?
Yes, we know. Daily basis.
To make sure that innocent investors
Yeah.
don't get sort of taken, because you see so many online crime that is taking place. Right? People are just getting duped by fellows who are unscrupulous. So we have to be very careful.
It could happen in two conditions. When the economy is really down, when people are desperate, they try to make a buck, they are pushed into that. On the other hand, when the economy is doing okay and we are picking up, then with the extra spending power, people get into this kind of activity also. So there are two extremes, but both ending up having this crime activity. So that's why we need a monitoring.
Okay.
Chairman, before you just hook off.
No, we
Yes,
approve
we
this.
conduct-
Licensing process, I want to find out, you have 8 licenses.
We better reinforce that. We better.
You have
strengthen that.
granted 8 licenses, right?
Thank you. Point taken.
You have 8 licenses now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 types of license.
Yeah. So 8 types of license. How many are totally in the numbers?
We have different categories.
Yeah.
3.
Now, for example,
Okay.
stockbrokers, there are about 28.
27.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe they have
So
other categories.
in general, in generic sense, the licensing process is transparent, right? Could you, for the record, just say how it step 1, step 2, step 3? When we have a license, say let's say a broker, whoever the categories that they are saying,
Yeah.
all of them have different processes.
No,
But
SCC.
if somebody applies for a license,
Yeah.
SCC.
just take me through for
Honorable
3.
Chairman, Honorable Member, I mean, we have 2-tier process. I mean, once they fulfill preliminary prerequisites, they can seek in principle approval. Then the
So
Secretariat,
who scrutinizes those applications?
Secretariat,
Okay.
SCC,
Okay.
SCC reviews the application and
Right.
go through one by one
Okay.
and check whether they have met all the requirements
Right.
under the
Preconditions.
Gazette.
Yes.
Then we give them the green light to go ahead and start take first steps with the in principle approval. After a period of time, after they meet other requirements that should be fulfilled to obtain the final license, they seek the final license. Then at that point, we conduct a thorough review
Okay.
and on-site inspection as well.
Okay.
And then commission take the merits of the application and
So
grant.
this process is open to R2I?
Yes.
Any citizen can
Certainly.
apply to the process?
Certainly.
So
We have complied when some
Okay,
people
fantastic.
require.
Because I want, for the record,
Yes.
to so that the citizens of this country are aware that what
Yeah.
you are doing is also transparently done.
Certainly it is.
Okay, right.
I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. So then we have no objections with 2366/34. So those two are approved. So folks from the SEC
Foreign exchange
and
and those two.
those who came here to participate in the foreign exchange at Gazette can leave. We have to import-export
Thank you, Shyam.
regulations and
Thank
the
you.
parate.
Thank you.
You please
Very
table-
rarely I see a government body of people, I think you are a different category, I think, coming and answering professionally and holding the state as a professional body. I thank you, all of you.
Very good, very good.
I thank you, all of you, on behalf of the committee.
All
for,
right. Okay, please table the documents, SEC, that the documents that you are going to table, please table them.
Sure.
Right.
I will. Thank you.
Like, you need to get those documents.